This is one of the most flavorful things I've ever put in my mouth.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany and today we are making goat cheese steak, which I realize doesn't sound super exciting, but it is, I promise. So I wasn't sure how to introduce this recipe because I actually hadn't made this recipe prior to recording this video. I was laying in bed one night and as if I was some fat ass Raven Baxter, I had this vision, and this vision said steak, bacon, onions, cream, goat cheese, and then it all came together. I knew that the flavors would work well together because the flavors just work well together, but essentially I actually had no clue because this, I'm literally like cooking and I'm tasting this and I'm like, that's crazy. It was literally one of the most flavorful dishes I have ever made, and it's a low carb, keto friendly. It's so good. I loved it. I think you're gonna love it. So now I'm gonna shut up so we can go ahead and get into it. So I'm starting out with 2 slices of bacon that I've chopped. And once that is halfway cooked through, I want to add in 1/3 cup of onions that I've diced. And in goes about 1 teaspoon of butter. And I'm going to give that a stir before I throw in my garlic, about 1 teaspoon of that, but you know what I say, as much garlic as you'd like. And once my bacon is cooked all the way through, I can pour in my heavy cream, and I'm using 3/4 cup of that. At this point, we can go ahead and bring our sauce to a simmer for about 10 minutes, and you'll see it thicken beautifully. And as soon as it starts to look like this, we can go ahead and grate in our cheese. I'm using about 1/4 cup of Asiago, but Parmesan works fine. Once I have that stirred and melted all the way through, I'm going to add in my goat cheese. And my goat cheese has garlic and herb, but plain works perfectly, I promise. And I'm going to awkwardly crumble that in because goat cheese is really weird to crumble. Give that a stir, and once that is melted, we can start to season. I'm just using pepper and a pinch of salt because my bacon is plenty salty enough. Now that this has been stirred all the way through, we are done. We can set this to the side and get started on our steak. So I'm using a thick New York strip steak, but you can use any steak that you like. And a really, really good steak just needs some salt and pepper. So I'm going to flip that over and do the same thing to the other side. And I know this looks like a lot, but it's really just my salt reflecting my ring light. Plus, my steak is thick as hell. So I'm going to make sure she's seasoned all the way around. And I've heated up my cast iron skillet until just before it was smoking. Added in my oil and in goes my steak. And I'm not touching that until she's ready to flip. And after 5 or 6 minutes, I am going to have this beautiful, beautiful crust. And this, my friends, is why you need a cast iron skillet, okay? So because I'm topping this with sauce, I want it a little bit more crust than usual, but I am not cooking this any further past medium, medium rare. But once I've gotten close to that point, I can throw in a few tablespoons of butter, and I can baste this hoe. Now, normally I would have some herbs, but all my herbs were dead. But this is the best way to make sure your steak is moist and as flavorful as possible. And after a minute or so of that, you can let your steak rest. Please, please do not cut straight into your steak. Otherwise, your juices will bleed out and you'll have a dry steak. And no one wants a dry steak. But after a few minutes, you can go ahead and slice into her and start to plate up. I have these beautiful medium slices of steak that I'm serving with some asparagus because I wanted this to be low carb. But now we can top it with this flavorful, rich, creamy sauce. Again, I'm going to awkwardly crumble some goat cheese. Top this steak with some tomatoes and garnish with green onions, and I am done. This is so good that I had to get all the angles, y'all. This was to die for. If you enjoyed this recipe, please try it out. Let me know how you love it. Send me pics of your steak. Until then, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time.